Hi, good morning. The temperature outside right now is 12 degrees with a feel like temperature of -2. And I had plans to go hiking today, and I'm going to try to honor them. So I wanted to bring you along and show you what I do to stay warm in these kinds of temperatures. So come along. I was always under the impression that in order to stay warm, you had to have something that was really big, bulky, and thick, and that could not be further from the truth. This is the Smartwool Merino Wool base layer. This is just as warm as most of my sweatshirts, but it is even more breathable because it's made from natural fibers, still insulated while giving me that ability to move and not feel sticky or stuck underneath. I love this. This is honestly one of the better investments I've made in terms of my closet. I was gifted some alpaca base layers. I really do like them. They're very, very insulated. They're so warm. They're warmer than any fleece leggings that I have previously owned, but they're a little thick and they don't really fit the best. They cut a little short, so my ankles are exposed. I have to wear thicker and longer socks in order to stay warm, so that's kind of a challenge, but as of right now, they get the job done and they do keep me warm and cozy. Next up, this is just a Rocky Mountain National Park crew neck. My next layer isn't from the most outdoorsy brand. It is this Sherpa from Pink. I was gifted it for Christmas one year when I was like 14, and it's still in great condition, and it's one of the warmest like mid layers that I own. So I am a big fan of just using what you have if it works, and in this case it really does. You might be thinking 3 layers and a coat is kind of crazy, and you're not necessarily wrong, but I run so cold. Like, if it were up to me, my apartment would be set at 77 degrees. So yes, I get cold very easily, so I have to take extra steps to stay warm in the winter. When I've got all my clothes on, I'm actually gonna go walk the dog, so I'll have about a 5 to 10 minute experience outside where I can see, hey, is this warm enough for me, or is there any part of my body that's cold? And then I can go back inside and add or remove as needed. Next up, I have these Rowick, I hope I'm saying that right, snow pants. Bought them a couple years ago because we had like a huge snowstorm, and these were a really great price and they're super insulating. There's not a ton of snow outside today, but I'm going to wear them anyway just because of how warm they are. I wear 2 different pairs of merino wool socks. First, I have these Smartwool ankle socks. Again, these are a merino wool blend. And then I'm also the owner of some of the cutest socks in the world. Look at these, they're little bears. These are merino wool blend socks from Darn Tough. Despite the name, they make some of the softest socks ever. I don't know what they do, but these socks are so comfortable. I used to be a firm believer that I just needed to wear fuzzy socks to stay warm. They're not all that insulating, they're just thick. Whereas these are actually insulating, they stay warm. Truly, these will keep me warmer than any pair of fuzzy socks that I own. So I love them for winter hiking, winter camping, anything I'm doing outside. I'm gonna hurry up so I can take the dog out and see how I adjust to the cold temps outside. Okay, so I just got back from walking my dog and I'm definitely happy with the way that I layered my clothes. I was warm the whole time. I did want to show you how I kept my head warm and then share some things that I'm a little concerned about in regard to staying warm on the hike. To keep my head warm, I started off with this hat that my grandma knit for me. It's really cute, but it's pretty thin. This isn't something that I would really wear in the winter with intent to keep my head warm. This is probably like a spring or a fall hat. But I started with this, and then I put on my Carhartt beanie. I always wear this in the winter. This is my go-to hat. I definitely feel like it keeps me warm. But when I'm in extreme temps for a long amount of time, my ears will definitely start to get cold, but layering the two, while it's kind of boxy, I feel like, I stayed warm the whole time. My head was super warm. And then two of the things that I'm concerned about are, one, my hands. So these are the only pair of gloves I own. They are smart wool, they're merino wool blend. They have the touch pads on the fingers so you can still use your phone while you're wearing them. And despite how thin they are, I would say that they keep my fingers warm until about freezing temps. Once you get below freezing though, I definitely start to notice that the tips of my fingers will get cold. So I'm a little concerned about that, with this being the only pair of gloves that I own. There are a lot of people online who, when recommending this product, recommend it as a liner for thicker, waterproof snow gloves. And I think that's a great investment, but I just don't have any yet, so we'll see. If I do start to get really cold, I can put my hands in my pockets, or if it does get bad, I can always just turn back. And then my face was kind of cold on this walk. I noticed my cheeks start to get hard and they got cold. And I have one scarf here, but it's more of a fashion piece than it is something to keep me warm. And then I also have this gaiter that I got off Amazon. I bought it a few years back to go to some music festivals, and I wore it when people were kicking up dust through dancing. I just kept it over my nose and my mouth so that I wasn't breathing in the dust, and it was pretty effective in that way. But as you can see, it's kind of thin. It's not meant for winter temperatures, but it is better than nothing, so I'm gonna bring it and just see how it goes. Same thing, if I find that I'm really cold, I will just turn around. And then to finish the outfit, I have the Rab Microlight Alpine women's jacket. This is honestly the warmest jacket I own and the only coat that I'm bringing along to van life. I used to wear this coat, and honestly these are both just as warm. The only difference is this one is bigger and longer, so it insulates more of my body. But this is every bit as warm, even though it takes up a fraction of the space. The last thing I need are shoes, and so for today's hike I'm going to be wearing these LL Bean winter snow boots that my wonderful, amazing boyfriend got me for Christmas. This is my first time wearing them out and about. Okay, we're about to head out. I'm so warm, so comfortable. I'm so happy with everything that I put on today. What did you wear for this hike?
For this, it may not look like much, but I actually have 3 layers on. I do have base layers, then a fleece layer, and then an outer layer. I'm definitely staying warm too.
Oh, those are your Eddie Bauer ones, right?
Yes.
Here, let me.
Eddie Bauer First Ascent.
Cool. Okay, we're here. I am definitely warm and toasty. I already have a hard time getting outside in the winter, so I'm doing everything I can to make sure that I'm comfortable. One thing that you want to make sure you're avoiding when you're hiking in winter conditions is sweating, because especially if you're going to be out for a prolonged period of time, by the time that you get back to camp or you get back to picnic table to take a break and you still have that sweat on you but you're no longer hot, that sweat's going to turn really cold really fast, and then you're going to be literally freezing. Also, I checked the temperatures and the feel like is now 1 degree, so it's no longer negative. Excited to have you come along. He scares me so much. He literally loves, oh my gosh, to walk on ice and jump on it. What are you doing? Okay, hello, we just got back. We only hiked about 2 miles just because we were trying to get comfortable with filming as we hiked, and I don't know, we dilly-dallied a lot. We only did about 2 miles. I will say my entire body was super warm. Again, very happy with all of the layering that I did. I don't know if you can see how red my cheeks are though. They got very cold, and the gaiter, while it wasn't insulating, when I would put it up, and I'd breathe out, like my hot breath would kind of warm up my face. So it did work a little bit. And then my gloves, when I was moving and the blood was flowing, blood was pumping, my hands stayed warm that whole time. But then when I would stop and try to get some shots, I definitely noticed the tips of my fingers got a little cold. But other than that, it was still manageable. So I'm very happy that we were able to get outside. What about you?
Yeah, I definitely prepared for the weather pretty well. I stayed really warm. I was a little worried about these gloves, but I don't really wear these a whole lot. I bought them for the time I went skiing a couple years ago. But they're really warm, whatever these are, once I put them on right. I had the same issue with the gaiter though, this net gaiter thing, but the opposite issue of her. My head's too big, so it didn't really fit me very well. I couldn't really breathe. It was kind of squeezing my face. So if you have any recommendations for good neck gaiters, insulated ones, leave them in the comments below. We'd love to hear.
Yeah, I had a super fun time. This is just your reminder to get outside. You don't have to make some big trip out of getting outside, especially in the winter time. Mm-hmm. See what you have in your area and just go enjoy it. We saw almost no people, no bugs. It's... What?
No bugs, yeah.
What's funny about that?
Nothing. But there's tons of local beauty around you. You don't have to be in a national park, a national forest. Appreciate what's around you.
Definitely. Okay, with that, goodbye. Have a good rest of your day. Thank you so much for watching.